This is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar for Friday, December 12th, 2025. And it is Yom Shishi, the sixth day of the week, which is the 22nd day of Kislev, Chaf Beis Kislev 5786. The Parsha of the week is Vayeshev. And Daf Yomi for today is Zevachim 89. Zevachim 89. And this is the PL-89 calendar. I was posting it on X/Twitter, and recently I was somehow excommunicated, to put it nicely, from, and I don't exactly know why, although I might have some reason, but it didn't seem like there was anything really I can explain, but I can't even get onto X now. So I was debating whether I should post this and put this here on Yehoshua's Daf Yomi Shir, and it seemed to me that yes, it's a good idea because it's a mathematical work and it often does correlate with the Daf Yomi. In fact, I do call it a Daf Yomi calendar in addition to 2 or 3 other calendars all in one. This is a calendar, a mathematical calendar work that I've been working on since 2012. The first copy of this came out, the first rendering of this came out in Elul time of 2012, which was the Hebrew year 5772. And it's based on verses from the Bible in the book of Leviticus, Sefer Vayikra, chapter 25, verse 20. It's very interesting that we are in the secular year of 2025, and after all these years, this is the year that it came out, and it's based on a verse that's the same exact numbers, just in reverse, 2520 and then 2025. A verse concerning the sabbatical year, the Shemitah year. In that Parsha, Bahar, it mentions the word Goel, meaning redeemer, or Geula, or some variant of that. Gaalo, or Gaal, or some variant of the word Geula, more than any other Parsha in the Torah. I counted 19 times. That might be in Bahar alone, or maybe in Bechukosai also, it says that word, I think, more. So that those two Parshas sometimes are combined as one. However, Bahar is the main Parsha that is about redemption because it deals with the sabbatical year. And I recently became somewhat familiar with the book of Jubilees, and it speaks of a very interesting idea that Jubilee is the English word for the word Yovel. Yovel is 7 sabbaticals, or 49 years, and the 50th year is it's like a sabbatical of sabbaticals. And what impressed me about the idea in that book, the book of Jubilees, it's one of the apocryphal books. It didn't actually make it into the Bible, but there's a lot of interesting information that very well could have been biblical information. In that, when Moses went up on the mountain, he was revealed all the secrets of time and space and all reality and all the dimensions and all the science and everything, within the Torah. And also the ages to come, the eons, and how long this age would last until, from the creation of the world until the Messianic age, or the end of the world. I'm not sure how to divvy it up. If the Messianic age is the end of the world, or it's together, or there's different opinions about that. But the idea is that Moses was shown all of the Jubilees. These Jubilees are these 50-year periods, and there's, from what I understand, a set amount of Jubilees, Yovelim, from the beginning of creation until the Messiah, or until the end of time. And this calendar is meant for that. It's meant to measure the time in a, I'm looking for the word, but I'm having trouble finding it. Basically, a way that combines everything in an equilateral way. Like, instead of focusing on one thing, it's taking many things and using them together. So, if there's a word for that, then please let me know. But anyway, the main two calendars here in question are the Gregorian calendar, on which today is December 12th, and the Hebrew calendar, on which today is the 22nd day of Kislev. Those are the two main calendars, and when I look at two boxes here in this calendar, it's going to be in those two things. There's a number here, a number here, a number here, like right, and over here. These are the two for today, which I'll say in a moment. But it's also a Julian calendar. Now, a Julian calendar maybe not a lot of people know about, but the Julian calendar is the calendar that was in effect for some 1,500 years, maybe more, before the calendar that we have. It's a solar calendar, and it was even used in Roman times, even before the first century. Maybe like 46 years before the first century, I think, is when the Julian calendar started. And it's what they used until 1582, when Pope Gregory the 13th issued what is called an Intergravissimas, meaning the title of the papal bull. Papal bull is like an issuing from the Pope, called Intergravissimas, of utmost importance, and this was to correct the calendar from some kind of drift that was occurring on the Julian calendar, so that Passover / Easter would be in spring or something like that. It had to do with that, and keep that in line. And so this calendar also looks at the Julian calendar because what happened with the Julian calendar was, and this is a whole other story, which I'll try to say short, but basically, the year 2012, when this calendar was made, I received the idea for it from the sabbatical year, the passage in Leviticus that talks about the 8th and 9th year, and that's the sequence code for this calendar. It's 8 plus 9 plus 8 plus 9, with the cutoff at 40. 40 is equal to Goel. Okay, but besides for that, in the year 2012, I got a tax refund for exactly $430. It's kind of like, usually there's some sense to it. There's like, $5.29 and 35 cents, whatever, something like that, but it's like, no, it was exactly $430. And when I realized, and then the spring, and I realized that year 2012 was precisely 430 years, exactly almost to the day, I think, to those months, that year, because 1582 plus 430 equals 2012. So when this Gregorian calendar was made, 430 years, it was issued on February 24th of 1582, but it wasn't implemented until the fall. What happened in the fall, so what I've read and I've heard, that when it was actually implemented, there was some 11 days that was a difference between calendars because of that correction. The day that they implemented it was on a certain Julian calendar date, but it just fast forwarded reality 11 days, and they basically vanished 11 days from history. What do we do with those 11 days? I think on the Hebrew calendar there was nothing that was missing. It didn't affect the Hebrew calendar, but the Gregorian calendar, which we use a lot, and it's important, even if we don't give it importance, we still have to use it, and that itself is important, and how it relates to the Hebrew calendar. But this would solve that problem. I'm thinking just conceptually would solve that problem, because if this is also a Julian calendar, which right now, as of today, I think from the year 1900, 1905 or something, which is very interesting. I think it's 1905, which I think was the year that the Lubavitch was born. This is very interesting. From the year 1905 up until 2099, the Julian calendar, even with its gradual drift, more and more, it's going to be 13 days behind our calendar now. So let's say today is it's December 12th. Okay, so let's just say it's December 14th, like in 2 days from now. That will be December 1st on the Julian calendar. So right now we're like November 29th on the Julian calendar. So what I'm doing is I'm saying today is actually November 29th. I'm feeling like it's November 29th, and I'm living. But not only, I'm saying, of course, it's December 12th, but what this can be doing in effect is not allowing that vanishing of 11 days to be real. Meaning every day is counted as if it were that never happened. And you might ask, why am I doing that? And I wouldn't have a clear answer, but I think there will be information that is revealed in time to explain why I'm doing it. And for that, I would appeal to anyone who's interested in calendars, mathematics, but also the complete redemptive history or the Messianic age, and would be interested in really sorting this thing out, because my knowledge of this only goes so far. At any rate, getting back to the point, well, actually, it's part of the point. So, 430 years from 1582 and 2012. Now, as it stands now, we are 13 plus years from 2012. Like late summer of 2012, and now we're in winter of 2025. So it's 13 and a half years. So this spring is when this will basically be 13 and a half, but going on 14. And meaning next September this will turn 14. But it's set to reach a terminus, some kind of a completion in the spring, meaning in the Omer time of 2026, which will be the year 5786, the ER or May / the Omer time, which is very important, of the year 5786 or 2026. Now, that was explaining basically what this calendar is, because I think this is my first time really explaining it here on Facebook. I mean, on Yehoshua's Daf Yomi here. But this is also, it has to do with Daf Yomi, and it's a whole other thing. It's too long for now. I should keep it under 15 minutes. But I'll try to keep these under 15 minutes. But basically, the coordinates for today, December 12th, 2025, is, the box would be 37. 37, the coordinates are B6. And the box number is 37. Okay? And for the 22nd day of Kislev, it is D7. And the box number is 2. And what you do with these two numbers, 37 and 2, you can do many things, but I think I'll leave it at that for now and pick it up next time. Thank you.